All right, guys. What's going on? What's happening? Let's see. Let's see what's cooking today. Let's see who is gonna join us and have the conversation. The conversation about the business, the real things. Let's see who's here, who's about to join. Uh, this week is it's pretty rough, guys. I cannot conceal it. It's pretty rough. We have a lot of changes going on in the company because we are optimizing processes in the executive department and in the strategy department, and this is a lot of work. Oh my god, this is a lot of work. Why? Well, because those are the biggest departments in the company, and if I had to count the heads in those two departments, I would say that we have probably around 50 people working both of them. So when you do the optimization slowly and taking your time and integrating things and giving new trainings to the employees, that's one thing. But when you have to do it a little bit more drastically, changing things around really fast, that brings a lot of work. So that's what we do, and that's what makes me a little bit tired. But not for you guys, not for you. We started the stream a little bit early today because there was a change in my schedule. And I know that some of you already got used to starting a little bit later, but that's the way it is. That's the way it is. So here's how it's gonna go. I'm gonna go with the today's topic and tell you what I have to say, and some of you will be watching afterwards, right after we finish, and you will watch it on the repeat. Okay, and of course, guys, you can always ask questions in the comment section and see and see what's going on. And of course, if you missed the stream, you can always follow up, and I'll get back to your questions. So let me tell you the recent approvals in the with the company. Let me see. We have 2 or 3 approvals. So let me tell you about those. First one is the approval for the product manager. Guys, product manager. And it can be said that product manager is a marketing expert, marketing specialist, and it's not wrong. It's not wrong to say it, but it has some specifics. So this case was filed a couple of weeks ago, and that was the first filing. And there were about 7 criteria that we were putting up for the immigration officer to make his conclusions, and just this case had no problems. Okay, just no problems. And I know you guys like cases with problems, and I have one for you. So check this out. The lady, she's from Russia. She's in the beauty industry, and she came to the States on a tourist visa, and she decided to change her status, to adjust her status. DTNP, Dict. Hello, hello, my friend. Glad to see you in the stream. So I'm telling about the recent approval that we had, and the case with some problems, with some difficulties. So the client in the States, and we're finishing up her petition, and in November we'll make a filing. Okay, so we make the filing, and I should tell you that that case was there was nothing wrong with it. You know, just good solid case for in a beauty industry, in a permanent makeup. I mean, we filed quite a few of those cases, and I kind of know the standard for the industry, and this case was above the average case for the green card. And to my surprise, and to the surprise of the team, we got the NOID. Okay, and what is NOID? NOID is notice of intent to deny. And basically, if translate from English to English, that means that the USCIS told us, hey, we are about to deny your case unless you prove us otherwise. And of course, when it's an RFE, that's not how they say it. They say, oh, okay, this one works, this one maybe doesn't work, maybe we miss some information, so can you tell us where things are and maybe give us some more paperwork? Okay, and that's the difference between RFE and NOID. So when we saw that, I was like, oh my God, it was unexpected. So let's withdraw the case and refile it, just because, you know, it was not supposed to happen, and there was a lot of stress for the client. And guys, I don't blame my clients when they get in a situation of not getting the case approved right away, because you know you expect it to be approved, and then something happens unexpectedly. But I gotta give credit to the client. She said, Stanislav, you know, I chose you as my attorney. I chose your company, and I put 100% trust in you and your skills and your professionalism. So I'm gonna do whatever you say. And that's what I want to hear, guys. Okay, that's what I want to hear from you when we get to some difficult situation, and you know, that gives me understanding that you're ready to overcome whatever is in front of us. And we did it pretty easily. We withdrew the case, we refiled it, and guys, guess what? We got an approval. We got an approval with no RFE, with no NOID, with nothing. Okay, just you file it and you get the approval notice. So my question is, I understand when we send the case and get an RFE, and maybe the officer is from the blacklist, and by the way, the officer was from the blacklist in this case, and we withdraw, we refile and get an approval. So RFE and approval, you know, they're close to each other. How on earth we get annoyed here, basically denying the case completely, saying like, you guys just didn't do the work, whatever, and getting it approved? Guys, can anyone from you explain this to me? Because I don't have any answer to this. You know, this the absence of uniformity between two officers working in the same organization, it just blows up my mind. You know, it just blows up my mind. And you know, I mean, I look at this professionally, and I know we're gonna refile and we're gonna get an approval. I kind of know it, but the clients, like you guys, you're stressed. You have, first of all, you go through a lot of stress. You have to pay more money for the government fee, and you have to waste your time for what? You know, because of this officer is just is inadequate in how he or she approaches the petition. So that's what we're facing today. That's what we're facing with the Biden administration, by the way, guys. Okay, if some of you still think that Democrats and Biden in particular are for the immigrants, you guys are mistaken. Okay, they're not for immigrants. They're for illegal immigrants, because those are the future voters for them, but they're not for the legal immigrants like you. All right. So and that's how it looks. The lack of good training to the employees, to the immigration officers, absence of uniformity within the organization, and everything that comes from it. Okay. I mean, I've been doing it for many years, okay? And we never had the discrepancies like this. Never, you know. It's with Trump, it was just very good, a solid time when you knew in advance that if you had a good case, if you back it up well, if you do whatever it takes, you're gonna get approved. Today, you just don't know. It's like a lottery. If you get a good officer who knows, who's adequate and who's educated, you're gonna get approved. If you get someone else, I don't know. It's a kind of lottery. So it's a little bit sad. It's a little bit sad, but hey, that's what it is. And still, US is the best country. Yes, there are some flaws, but that's how I see it. All right, let's take a look at what bothers you guys, because that's what bothers me, and I share it with you. So let's see what's on your side. DTNP. I get the EB3 visa confirmation by General Mills. Okay, but now they asking me I have to, DTNP. I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're asking. Your English is like very broken. So you got the I believe you got the approval for EB3 visa, and now who asking? The embassy is asking you for air tickets confirmation, or who are asking you? Put it down. Letter, the ticket needed. So yeah, tell me who is asking you questions and what's going on. I still don't get it. Said, if I'm pronounce it right, or Syed. Does L1 new office needs to show source of funds from my origin country, or can I have an investor invest from the US as well? Really good question. Really good question. I like it, and it comes to the topic of today's discussion. Basically, the most promising industry for the purpose of starting the business, and that business could be for the purpose of L1, E2, O1, even EB2 and IW. We can even touch on that, guys. Also EB5, if you have a big investment in your company. So, Anis, let's go with your second name, Anis, okay? That's easier for me. There is no requirement, neither for the new office or for the existing office, to show the funding of the business, of the startup. Okay, there's nothing in the law, but there is something in the policy, and that's the way the immigration officers see what they want from a new business, and they want to see some capitalization. Okay, they want to see enough money on the checking account of the new company to support the company for the first year, or to the point where the company breaks even. Okay, break-even point. So basically meaning that it can afford all the expenses that it has, making enough money to cover all the expenses. So the question is where the money should be coming from. And I can tell you that they want to see that the money is coming from 2 points, okay, from 2 spots, possibly. One is the affiliated company across the ocean, okay, from overseas, from your country of origin. That's number 1 option. Number 2, from a person who is in control of both businesses. All right. So if you want to bring the additional investment from a US investor, you know, I can see how that can work. However, that cannot make that person control the organization. Okay, so his equity or hers equity should not be more than the equity of the person who controls the company overseas. Or that same person may own the company overseas and control maybe 51% of the US company. So either or, right? Maybe we may do a loan from that US investor, a loan to you personally or to the company with some equity in exchange, or with a profit sharing agreement. All right, and let me tell you guys, you know, we don't really often discuss the corporate side of all the business visas, and it's not even the topic of the today's stream. And we're not going to discuss it, but I'm going to mention one thing that you guys need to understand. First of all, it's crucial if you have a side investor in your business in the US, you must have something in writing. Either the investment agreement or the operating agreement if it's an LLC, or something in the bylaws or shareholder agreement if it's a corporation. Guys, let me tell you, how many times in my career I've seen problems with good people who started the business with some other partners, investors, whoever they are, and they did not sign something in the beginning. They didn't put it in writing. Guys, this is right and left every day happening, okay? Doesn't matter, it's your brother, your father, your best friend from childhood, a person you always live together in the same room. It doesn't matter. Whoever that person is, when things get to good or big money, things change. Okay? Trust me on that. Take my word from that. I've seen it so many times, and I've seen it with my friends, I've seen it with my clients, I've seen it with my relatives, with everyone. So don't think that because America is the country that has the good legal system, good judicial system, less corrupt than other countries, you know, because we have lobby, and basically lobby is legalized corruption. But it's counterintuitive that thinking that America is a country with laws that are actually work, that people who you work with, they gonna follow those laws, okay? And actually, because US is the country with good laws and good judicial system, that means that you have to have something in writing to go off in the future. Okay, because yes, oral agreements stay valid. Yes, if you can sue someone in the court for the oral agreement. And again, like, it doesn't have to do anything with immigration, guys, but you all gonna be here and doing business, so you have to know that. Okay, you kind of have to know that. And because I'm also a corporate attorney, I know what's going on in the field. So the bottom line, make sure whatever you do, whenever you do the business with someone, if it's an investor, if it's a silent investor, if it's an active partner, if it's a silent partner, it doesn't really matter. Have things in writing. And do not always plan for the good things, but always plan for bad things as well. If things don't go well, how you guys gonna split? How you gonna get the corporate divorce? In other words, okay? You got and you know, if things work out, very good, but if they don't, you have to think about that. You also have to think about things like possible death of one of the partners. Okay, if there is nothing in your contract about sudden death, or you know, maybe a person got in a car accident, God forbid, and something happened and they died, and that's your partner. If there is nothing in the book of your company, then they're gonna go by the default law, okay, by what's in the default law for LLC or for corporation, let's say in the state of Florida, and that's gonna complicate things a lot. All right, and let me tell you guys, I have the client right now. I have a client who three partners in the business. and I did the corporate work for the company here in Florida, and one of them suddenly died. Okay, for no reason. And he was young, like in his 40s, good health, nothing, no terminal diseases, nothing. A person just died. All right, that happens all the time, right? So thank God they had me drafting the operating agreement, and they agreed on. We discussed that, and they agreed what would happen in this case. And so things just went by what they agreed on. They didn't have to go to court. They didn't have to do probate. Oh, none of this craziness, because we thought about this. Okay, imagine they didn't have that, or they didn't put that in writing. I mean, that would be a disaster. Okay, especially for the startup. With a big investment, good startup in the beginning, things like that, they may destroy the whole thing. So yeah, if you don't take anything out of this stream today, guys, just take one thing out: the whatever you do business with anyone here in the US, have things in the contract, in the agreement. Okay. Also, I want to mention, because we're touching on the corporate side of the business, there are different ways to be partners with someone. Okay, they could have equity in the company, meaning they could have a share, let's say 30%, 20%. But also, guys, not too many people know about this, but you don't have to have the person in the company to have him or her as a partner, because there is a profit sharing agreement. And I don't know if there is equivalent of this thing somewhere else, in India, in Pakistan, in Spain, in Russia, in Germany. I'm not sure, but there is here in the US. So what it basically means that two people agree on how they're gonna split the profits from some kind of business endeavor. In other words, from business. Okay, and they don't have to be they don't both have to, or three of them have equity in the company. Okay, they just one may have 100% owner of the business, but for whatever reason, he wants to share his profits. I mean, the reason is kind of obvious. The other person did something or is doing something for the business that makes it profitable, so they're ready to share the profit. So there is such a thing. There is such a thing, and keep it in mind when you are making arrangement for how you're going to conduct your business. All right, a little bit off topic, but I think it's really good, guys. It's really good because this is an important information for those of you who are going to be doing business in the US. Where can I contact you personally? I really need your help. You can always contact me through WhatsApp, through company WhatsApp. So moderator, please send a link to the corporate WhatsApp, and you can ask me questions there. But if I see that I need to go deeper in your case, you will need to schedule a complex immigration planning. Okay. All right, so guys, let's get back on track. Let's get back on most promising industries to start your business in the US, and of course, I'm going to be talking about businesses that have better chances from the standpoint of immigration. Okay, so number one, the hottest industry, guys. The hottest industry right now is agriculture. Okay, agriculture is number one in all type of visas, be it O1 visa, L1, E2, EB1A, EB2 NIW, EB5. If you have an idea that encompasses agricultural things, and the animals, the fertilizers, plants, growing, maybe some other businesses that not directly agricultural, but maybe touching on this sector. Let's say the business is helping to repair the agricultural equipment, you know, something like that. Sounds really good. Especially those businesses are really good for EB2 and IW. Okay, so if you have experience in EB2 and IW, and you have education in this in that field, and you want to come to the US, this is just really good. This is really good. Agricultural businesses getting approved really fast. And why? You're like, Stanislav, why this happens? Well, because that's what the current administration wants. You know, they want more farmers. They want more plants growing and animals and all this kind of stuff. All right, so food producing, local food producing, because it's good for prices, it's good for jobs, it's just good for economy. So whatever business you may think of, see if you can connect that business to the agriculture. All right, that's number one. Number two, any business that has to do with technology and innovation. All right, if you guys want to bring some technology, some new services, the IT services, cybersecurity, blockchain, patents, or anything of that kind, these type of businesses are really good. And again, for any type of visa, it doesn't really matter. Okay, yes, again, you can always think green card through EB2 and IW when you bring some innovation and technology. But again, EB2 and IW is it's a little slower visa, so you may consider E2, O1, L1 to come to the US faster, to start developing your idea, and then just waiting for your green card here in the US. Okay, and number three, and you know, I'm trying to give you maybe like more practical ideas on number three, and this is the service industry. Okay, any business in the service industry, so like mowing the grass, okay, like gardening, this is a really good business. Cleaning the pools, cleaning the houses, okay, cleaning the windows from outside. You know, those are really good businesses. They and you'll be like, look, Stanislav, there's so many of these people who are doing this type of work. Like, how is this a good idea to be involved? Well, the thing is, guys, that yes, there are a lot of people who are doing those businesses, but very few of them doing that business well. Okay, meaning that if you're doing that type of service a little bit better than everybody else, just a little bit, you already above the average, so you will be able to conquer the market. Okay, let me tell you, for me, like, I live in a house. Okay, I have a house in Davie, and I have a pool, I have a big backyard, like about an acre of the land. All right, it took me probably a year to find good people who's gonna cut my grass, cut my trees, clean my pool, and do all this stuff. Okay, just because people come and they do bad work and they charge a lot of money, and you know, they don't show up sometimes. Like, you schedule something, they just don't show up. Like, okay, like, what's going on here? Like, are you doing business or what? So that's kind of sad, but on the other hand, it's really good for you guys who want to be involved in this type of businesses, providing services. Okay, and those services are always in demand. Okay, the pool is always gets dirty, the grass is gonna grow, the window is gonna get dirty, the house is gonna get dirty. You know, there's no way to stop this. Okay, so those services are always in demand. Okay, and I don't have time to clean my house. My wife doesn't have time, she's busy with kids, so you have to hire someone. So those are really good. They're not only hot, for 2024. They hot all the time. Okay. Also, I like the sport businesses. Okay, like anything that has to do with sport, with health, and yes, even like supplements. Selling the supplements is really good business if you know what you're doing. Okay, and if you sell through Amazon, if you know how Amazon works. So I have quite a few clients who were involved in sport, in gyms, in studios, yoga studio, CrossFit, and this kind of stuff. And you know, a lot of Americans, they going for it. They're going for sport, they're athletic, and they take care of their health. All right, a lot of them. So those are also really good businesses. Stanislav, what about restaurants and trucking businesses? I heard that you can make a lot of money. Yes, you can make a lot of money in any business if you know what you're doing. But from my experience, the the food business and logistic businesses, they are in the highest risk zone. Okay, what it means? Well, that means if you don't know what you're doing and there is no one to tell you and advise you here in the US, either you're going to spend a lot of money until you understand what's going on, or you're going to fail. Okay, and that's the truth, guys. And you know, I'm not I never try to picture you the rainbows and butterflies. I'm more realistic, and I want you to succeed. So without understanding what it takes to develop a restaurant or cafe or whatever food business or logistic business, trucking, moving. Oh my God, moving business! What a dirty business, guys. People go to jail for this business too, because those are like toughly regulated, and if you don't do it right, you can even go to jail. So don't do those. Okay, don't do those businesses unless you know exactly what you're doing. Okay, and I'm not a big fan of this kind of stuff. Everything that has wheels can go somewhere. Okay, and food gets bad. Okay, it's because it's food. So yeah, those are very far from the top of my list. All right, so those I want you guys avoid at all costs. Unless you have to do this. All right, so let's see if you guys have questions. We started a little bit earlier today, and I gave a bunch of information that I wanted to share with you. Oh, by the way, a little update what's going on with the consular processes. Guys, today we got the invitation to interview from a client who got an approval for EB1A in July of last year. Okay, so his interview is scheduled for March. So you always ask me, and I always tell you that it usually takes about 9 months from the time your immigration petition is approved, provided that there is no backlog. Okay, so mostly those are EB1A cases. I always say about 9 months, but more and more clients are getting scheduled for interviews between 4 and 7 months as of today. Okay, I don't know if the US government is implementing some technology, just making things faster, because I don't understand why we need to wait for 9 months to begin with. Okay, how busy should be the embassy to marinate you for 9 months after the approval? Okay, let's say 1-2 months you're working with the National Visa Center. Fine, I can understand that. But give us 2 months after that. Okay, make it happen faster. I don't see why you should wait for so long. And nine months on average. Sometimes it gets to a year. Okay, but okay, last year we started noticing it that things are getting a little bit faster. So this is good news. This is good news, especially for those of you who are going to be getting the EB1As. or any other EB1 category, because there is EB1A, there's EB1B, there's EB1C. All those approvals are going on the fast track for the visa interview. All right. All right, so that's the update I wanted to give you guys. Don't forget to go through the free evaluation on the business visas, which are business visas, E2, L1, and EB1C. They are in the chat. I dropped them for you. Also, there's a link to contact my company if you have questions that you didn't want to ask here at the stream. And I know maybe it's some sensitive topics, no problem. So shoot me a message to the WhatsApp. Otherwise, I wish you a good end of the week, a good weekend, and see you next week. I'm Stanislav Shamayev, a lawyer of the future. Your future begins here. Good luck.